WHAP course. Today we will be talking about Michelangelo and his impact during the Renaissance, which helped contribute to the development of Western art. Not that Michelangelo, Stacy! That's better. Michelangelo was an Italian sculptor, painter, architect, poet, and engineer of the High Renaissance. He lived between 1475 to 1564, where he created many cultural phenomena. Michelangelo's parents, Leonardo and Francesca, took Michelangelo and their 5 children and went to Florence, where Mike was given to a stonecutter family, where he is, quote, "With my wet nurse's milk, I sucked in the hammer and chisels I used for my statues. How about them apples?" In school, Michelangelo was uninterested, but when he was 13, he was introduced to painter Domenico, who taught him the technique of fresco. Don't you mean like salsa fresca? No, I mean like mural painting on limestone. Anyway, with the Medici family, Michelangelo began to work with Pittado di Giovanni, who introduced Michael to new artists. This would later on help Michelangelo develop his personal style. That's right, you guessed it, really buff dudes. Or to be more precise, a muscular precision and a reality combined with an almost lyrical beauty.
By 1495, Michelangelo had sculpted the Cupid statue, which people have come to believe was a way to begin a new technology or destroy past technology. Either way, it's a bunch of naked babies. At least it's not as bad as the Jonas Brothers in the Second Night at the Museum movie.
Oh, great, you're back.
Michelangelo was an awkward man. Similar to all of you watching this video, he was basically an insomniac, and by his later years, he didn't sleep much. Michelangelo is well known for his immense skill with stonework and paintings.
In 1508, Michelangelo was called over to Rome by Pope Julius II. He first thought that he would only be working on the Pope's tomb, but he basically made him construct an entire chapel, after which he was also assigned to paint figures of the 12 apostles against the starry night sky and the Sistine Chapel ceiling. Because he preferred sculpting over painting, he attempted to turn down the job, but the Pope persisted and kept assigning him more jobs. By 1511, the Pope became impatient and required an early release of the chapel. After years of work, the chapel was completed, ornamented with what Michelangelo stated 400 over life-size figures. Time went on and Michelangelo just kept sculpting and painting. He even constructed basic architecture. Like a machine, he produced works like the statue of Madonna of Bruges and the statue of David in 1504. Probably one of his most famous paintings, the creation of Adam in 1512. Next to the Last Supper by Da Vinci, the creation of Adam is the second most commonly replicated religious works. This image has become iconic to human culture and has been imitated and parodied numerous times, representing Michelangelo's overwhelming impact on art.
Time for the open letter. But first, let's see what's in the secret compartment. Drum roll, please. And the Oscar goes to Leonardo DiCaprio. This isn't the Leo I meant, Stacy! Oh, there we go. To Leonardo da Vinci. Dear Leo, you and Michelangelo did not get along. Maybe it was because the two of you were so successful during the Italian Renaissance. Maybe because Michelangelo was known for having a personality that was difficult to work with. He was described as impatient and arrogant, resulting in incidents such as his friend punching him in the nose, crushing it like a biscuit. How about that mental picture? But beyond this, the two of you were engaged in an artistic rivalry, with both of you being commissioned in competition with each other to paint a vast wall painting in the council hall at the Palazzo Vecchio in Florence. The two of you shared a mutual hatred for each other that continued throughout your lifetimes, similar to the way the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hated Shredder, the villainous Ninja Turtle master. Ah, childhoods. Best wishes, Brindley Kozai.
Now back to Michelangelo. In his later life, Michelangelo turned his artistic focus toward architecture and literature, writing many poems and letters to his friends and family. He also grew attached to various young men. This is disputed among scholars of it being a homosexual or paternal relationship due to his unmarried and childless status. He died in 1564 at the age of 88 and was buried at the Basilica di Santa Croce in Florence. His legacy continues to this day as one of the most famous Italian Renaissance artists and through the numerous artworks he has produced in his lifetime.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next week on WHAP Course.
Bye! Sixteen, 15, 16, just keeps going. Parents Leonardo and Francesca took Mike to their 5 children. Took Mike to their 5 children. In the DC family, Michelangelo began to work with Bertolando di Giovanni, who helped Michael expose to artists. You sure?
Go.
For example, 2 relief sculptures.
Go.
Squeaky chair.
Wait, do we start? No.
Which people have come to believe was a way to begin a new tech. No.
He was also assigned to paint figures of the 12 apostles. Your dang hand is blocking the paint.
Oh, I didn't know that's what you were on.
He preferred sculpting over. In 1508 was but you basically made him construct an entire chapel. After which, that ain't it.
To his friends and family. He also grew attached to various young men. This is disputed among scholars of it being homosexual literature, writing many poems and letters to his friends and family. He also grew attached to various young men. This is disputed among scholars. Oh, what?
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next week for another what? Michelangelo turned his artistic focus towards architecture and literature, right?